Welcome back to our final segment of Week Quattro. We do a thing that isn't football or Illini based. I know it's sad to see you guys go, but time goes by fast when you're having fun.
Exactly. It's never about where you are, it's who you're with.
Yeah, that's right. And speaking of who you're with, we're going to visit because keeping it real with everyone back home, we couldn't think of what to make for this segment. So we went back to what worked last week, which was a Twitter debate.
Yep.
And you said who you're with. You have a chance to have dinner with rapper mogul JayZ.
Billionaire
JayZ.
Yeah.
Wife of Beyonce, or husband of Beyonce, JayZ.
Is Beyonce the one with the pants? No, I'm sorry, no disrespect.
Yeah, no disrespect to either one of them. They're both goated.
They're fucking both amazing.
That's a goated couple.
But so you've probably heard about this on social. You've probably heard about this.
or JayZ dinner.
Yeah, would you rather get $500,000 from JayZ or spend a dinner with him? And the reason why it was so we're on the same page.
Yeah,
we'll get to that in a minute, right? But the reason why it was a debate is because somebody on Twitter tweeted out, and I get why they said this, right? But they were like, I'll take the dinner with JayZ so I could learn from him and have a conversation with him and kind of figure out why or how did he get all that money with him, kind of get all this knowledge with him. Which knowledge is power.
Fair.
Connections are power, right?
I get the point of the question.
I get the point. However, if you're given the chance to get $500,000 right now, I could do so much more with $500,000 than with a conversation with JayZ. Like, JayZ can give you some valuable information, but you're just given $500,000. $500,000. $500,000. That's a fuck ton of money.
So personally, I believe that if you had dinner with JayZ and he was sitting there and you go, I chose this over $500,000. I believe JayZ would put his fork and knife down. He would gently push himself out of his chair. He would walk over to your side of the table and he'd smack the fuck out of you.
Yeah, I mean, he's even, I don't know if you saw, he went on the title Twitter page, tweeted out, like, take the 500K.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's stupid. I like you were saying, we understand the point of the question and all that, but 500K is a pretty mighty amount. My problem actually with stuff like that is, and it's a bad habit that I don't necessarily want to put on the internet per se, but I don't like to hear too many like people's success stories. Like even when it's in my own industry, obviously in colleges, a lot of teachers like to bring people who graduated from U of I in your field who are working in the field to come back and talk and like.
Yeah. Always do that.
I feel like it's so well known by everyone that everyone's paths are so ridiculously different. So, like, my thing with basically what I'm getting to is that if you did get to talk with JayZ and you're asking him how to make all this money, you might not be able to because the things he might be saying, you don't have access to making it happen.
Exactly.
You might not just have the luck this dude have, or you might not be in the same situation. Like, he got big in 2000 or before 2000. Like the times are different, so he doesn't really know how to get to that anymore.
And what they don't know too is that it took JayZ a while to climb the ranks. Like he didn't just become famous overnight.
Right.
He got to this point because he put in a lot of work when he was unnoticed. Like he was one at the time and place when he wasn't a household name. Yeah. Right. And he built this brand. Right. And so just because he gives you that information and insight on how he did it, does not mean you can replicate it. Different situations, and that's exactly what you're getting.
And that's implying that this dude is going to be able to, in a single dinner, break down to you his 30, 40-year process of how he became a billionaire from rags.
Exactly.
It's like, in my opinion, it's like, oh, if JayZ said, come on board and be a guy like my assistant at fucking Rockefeller, that's a different situation. Because now you're put into a position where you can learn from the best. One dinner is not going to do shit. The same way I think those showcases where a guy comes in classrooms and talk for 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, all I learned was how dude didn't get hired at the first two places he applied to and then found a job at Adobe. Like, I didn't learn anything. I know that's an option for me. Yeah. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. But another thing that I kind of want to twist off of it in a similar sense is that the reason why the JayZ thing doesn't really work either is that he became big. Obviously, he had money from doing drug stuff, which I don't think the question was implying. Yeah. But JayZ necessarily, like, he knows a lot about business, a little bit of everything. But like, he became big off music necessarily. So if you're an artist or a producer and you want to have a dinner with JayZ, that might be worth more than $500,000. Because you know what I'm saying, like you talk to JayZ, you talk to him about some concepts. He does that little bit different. You become a famous producer. You're gonna make more than $500,000. Yeah. But my thing is that it's like...
Okay. If it's somebody like you and me who we aren't into music, like, not that we're not into music, but we don't produce music, we don't sing, we don't...
Yeah, like a lot of connections and shit that he can help me with directly, I'm not even going to be able to use.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But what I was going to say was, let's change... I'm going to change the question. This is off a limb just because I was thinking about it when you were talking last. would you rather have a dinner with like the most prestigious person in your own field, or would you take like 25,000? Let's not say a stupid.
So when you say prestigious person in my field, do you mean like? Because when you think of that...
When, in your industry, if you work in your industry, you know about this dude. Every industry, like, I want to say who it is, but I don't even know who it is for advertising.
Well, for me, like if you're thinking about who the best or the biggest engineer is, I'm going to say Elon Musk.
Okay, that's true.
So, like, so that's why I wanted to ask that question, because for me, as an engineer, $25,000 or meeting Elon Musk, I'm meeting fucking Elon Musk.
So, what is the money amount for your Elon Musk?
I don't know.
Like, if someone like 100,000 or Elon Musk?
I really don't know. I wouldn't be able to put a price tag on it.
That's what I'm saying. 100,000 or Elon Musk? A dinner with Elon Musk? Or 100 rocks on that thing, man.
I think at that point, with that much money, damn, I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I think once you get back up to 500 racks, it's like 500.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Once you get to 500,000 for sure, but I don't know what that threshold is. Like, I don't know at that point in time where I'm like, all right, it's 101,000 now. Now I'm gonna take that money instead of 100,000.
So let me rephrase it again. Okay. Who has the higher threshold? Like, you can't put a direct number on the threshold. That's fair. But who, in your opinion, has a higher threshold for you? Elon Musk or JayZ?
Elon Musk.
Okay, well, obviously.
Because the thing is, more rich. Elon Musk is more rich. He's in my field. He's a fucking engineer. I could learn from him. Obviously,
would he be the number one person?
By far. By far.
SpaceX, Jeff Bezos too, and all that.
But Jeff Bezos, like, obviously, not taking anything away from Jeff Bezos. I mean,
what he did is ridiculous. I thought Bill Gates was
over $100 billion. The
man's gonna get to $1 trillion first.
Yeah, he could. Like, he really could. And so, but in terms of engineers, and I just personally like Elon Musk a little bit more. Like, I just like what he does.
He's a very weird dude. He's probably at some point gonna watch this podcast just because we shouted.
He's interesting. Like, I like. Seeing how he speaks on like the Joe Rogan podcast, sometimes I'm like, damn, this motherfucker is not human. Like, he has to have like a fucking alien brain.
Honestly, to me, to this day, him smoking weed and just like being concentrated as fuck on Joe Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the peak of podcasting.
Yeah, you have one of the richest
second richest guy on the fucking planet smoking a blunt on your.
And see, that's why I fucking like him. And you're like, and Joe Rogan said like, oh, do you think this is gonna affect your stock prices with Tesla or whatever? He's like, I don't give a fuck. He was just like, it shouldn't. I don't care though. Like, I'm here, like, so I would definitely want to meet fucking Elon Musk.
He's said a lot of dumb shit and done some dumb things, and he obviously could use his money in better places sometimes. But in terms of being a famous rich person, like, Elon's one of them that I actually fuck with. Like, I hope he doesn't come out on some like too weird of shit.
Yeah,
I have to no longer like him.
Yeah, I do fuck with Elon very heavy, and I think in terms of engineering and just as fucking like, because the thing is too, like, obviously he could give me insight in fucking engineering and shit, but like, he has a wide portfolio of investments, and I don't know, right? I don't know what he can necessarily teach me in just a single conversation, but I think, me personally, I would gain a lot more from speaking with fucking Elon Musk over JayZ, and that's why I would give him a higher threshold. For you,
my problem, that's what I'm doing right now, is I went on Google and I'm trying to figure out who would be like the Elon Musk of the advertising marketing world.
Well, I mean, you also were in journalism for a while. You could talk about, like, maybe, is there somebody in the sports journalism world who you would aspire to be, right? Like, would you want to be on some, like, Pat McAfee shit in his podcast? Or would you want to be somebody like Stephen A. Smith?
I really like Pat McAfee in terms of, like, the way, like, what he represents as a media figure. Stephen A. Smith, in terms of the big analyst, I love Stephen A. Smith and, like, all his stupid memeable shit that you can do. But I don't like that he's fallen for the hot take era.
Yeah.
Where, like, all of a sudden, like, obviously, every analyst has his hot take here and there, kind of like how I said Joe Burrow's going to have a better career than Trevor Lawrence, question that, whatever. But recently have been just, like, horrendous at times, especially when it comes to football.
I used to watch First Take, like, religiously. I used to watch this shit all the time. I've kind of fallen off of that. For me, it's
the hot take era.
But for me, my favorite podcast or thing to listen to is the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of my primary modes of obtaining information.
He's the reason why so many people like us are making podcasts now too, because like the age of wanting these big name dudes just saying whatever the fuck they want to say because they're the big names is over.
Yeah.
They want people who are going to consistently make shit that makes sense while also somewhat being funny,
yeah,
while also calling out like cultural
and
references.
They do that shit.
Amigos ad-lib during a podcast. You're not getting that on the fantasy football podcast.
Yeah, and see, like, I just like how genuine they are. Like, for me, the same reason as to why we started this podcast, and we were saying how, like, oh, we're boys sitting on the couch. They're all boys, just with fucking microphones in front of them. Like,
and ridiculous football contracts and nice studios and ridiculously big.
And I mean, I just like, obviously,
we're getting there.
I like the fact that they fucking they swear to do whatever the fuck they want, and they talk about fucking football. I mean,
guys being dudes.
Exactly, my guy.
And that's what we do here. And that's what we're going to continue to do in future weeks. But you just look down at your phone. We have about a minute until this camera goes 0 dark 30.
And then we don't want it to cut out again in the middle of it. That would be very awkward. So we're probably going to wrap it up here. Thank you for tuning in to another week of the Champaign Papis podcast. As always.
That's right.
You guys, your support has been greatly appreciated.
Ridiculously. I have been slacking on the social media. I apologize. But right now, if you're watching this, you might have come from TikTok because we are posting our best moments on TikTok now. We're going to get a little bit more Instagram action going.
No.
Tiki-Toki. Follow us on Tiki-Toki.
No, but with that said, like, thank you guys for everything. Comment, subscribe, like everything down below. Let us know what you guys want to do.
Yeah, do all the shit that's going to make people who don't know us know our podcast.
Yeah, and follow us on socials. They're all going to be linked down below in the description. As always, take it easy, baby.
We love you.